They never did that to the Asians. They put them in the little concentration camps during the war, but they received reparations for that. They never bombed the Hispanics, the Italians, the Russians, the Irish. Never bombed their communities. Never burned it down. How did we get here? Quit telling me about where the hell we are today and tell me how we got here. I don't want to know about the disease and the symptoms. I want to know where it came from. That's what this show is about. Because the people that I got into the tete-a-tete with on last week's show about social engineering, they don't get that. They weren't there when their grandparents was burning our shit down. They weren't there. I told you the story of little Sarah Beth, who didn't think black people should get reparations because they weren't alive during that time. But her great-granddaddy had 100 acres. Her granddaddy acquired another 100 acres. He sold it, started a real estate company who passed down to her dad, who expounded that company, and Sarah Beth got all the benefits from it. See, you get the benefits from slavery because that 100 acres that your great-granddad or your granddad bought, you probably stole it from some black person. But Sarah Beth gets to live a great life. She wasn't born. She wasn't here.
Why do black people deserve reparations for something they weren't alive for? That's a great question. Let's ask Sarah Beth what she thinks. This is Jebediah. Jebediah inherited over 100 acres of land, his father's South Carolina plantation in the late 1800s. He was able to use the money from that land to buy 100 more acres. In the mid-1950s, passed the land down to his son, Mark, who then sold the land for $5 million. Mark started a successful real estate company that he passed down to his son, Tim. Tim was able to take all of the wealth that he generated basically because he was just born. This is his daughter, Sarah Beth. Sarah Beth was able to go to the best schools, live in the best neighborhoods, and have the most wonderful extracurricular activities. He's now getting an engineering degree from Syracuse. Already has jobs lined up on Wall Street. Has never had to work a job. Are we really going to look Sarah Beth in her cold, dead eyes and tell her that she doesn't deserve the opportunities that's been afforded to her just because she wasn't born when the wealth was accumulated?
So just like Sarah Beth, white girl, you get to go to Stanford and get an engineering degree off of the prosperity of your ancestors. I get to live with the poverty inflicted upon my ancestors. How did we get here? We were taught to turn against each other. Why do we need a hashtag that says support black business? You never see the Jews doing that. You never see Hispanics with a hashtag saying support Hispanic business. It's only us. How did we get here? Had to start somewhere, and it started from the people who brought us here. There's something that you have to look at. Check this out. If we were so inferior, insignificant, we wasn't about shit, then why do they spend so much time on us? Here's an analogy. If something is inferior, you would give them the best of everything. Think about this. The family dog. There's a freeze coming. Let's say you live in New England, New York, Chicago, wherever it gets very cold. You'd bring the dog in. The dog would have its own house. Everything would be done to ensure that the dog was safe and secure because the dog is insignificant, inferior, then why wouldn't you give black folk the best of everything if we're inferior? Because the dog doesn't have the potential to take over and dominate a people. Black folk do. Maybe if you gave us the best of everything, you know, the shit you owe us, then we would exceed you. We already show the world how mediocre you are. We're the ones. African Americans, ADOS, American Descendants of Slavery, FBA, Foundational Black Americans.
Making a deal.
Why are white people so intimidated and threatened by black men, despite their claims that black men are inferior to them and incapable of the most basic tasks?
Well, there's an easy answer to that question. They know black men are superior to them. Put us on any playing field, be it physics or football, and we will win. Give us the same opportunities, and we will win. Because we come from a history of not trying to destroy and dominate the world, and you come from a history of trying to destroy and dominate the world, and that has become the culture of the white community.
You know we're an amazing people. Again, you didn't steal black folk. You stole scientists and engineers and farmers and construction workers and teachers and things of that nature. Every yin has a yang. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. In mainstream media, white folk media, you always tell the bad things about black folk. Yeah, we're messed up in our community, but nigga, how did we get here? How did we get here? How did we go from being amazing people after slavery, building our own, showing white folk we didn't need them, till now today we're just shit? People wonder why we can't seem to get our act together. Because they didn't burn your shit down. White people fear us because of what they done to us. That's why you don't want to give us reparations. Again, you don't fear the black people that will take the money and give it back to Cadillac and Gucci and Louboutin and things of that nature. You fear the 10 to 20% of black people who know what the hell to do with that money. That's who you fear.